guys, it's your girl LA in LA. Today I'm going to be doing a makeup look with this new Picante palette that I'm sure you guys have seen all over the internet. It's kind of blowing up and it's $18 and Leah has it and I'm using it, so yeah. As I do the makeup look, I'm going to go into some of my racist pet peeves, things that really piss me off when it comes to microaggressions, so they're just like my pet peeves. Let's get into the video. To start off my makeup, I like to use some of my Lekem products. To start it off, I use the Advanced Gentrifique. It's like a serum. It's really cool. I really like it. It keeps my face really moisturized during the day. So I just put a couple drops on my face. It looks like I'm crying, but no tears left to cry, you feel me? But basically I just rub it around my face, you know, just down my neck a little bit. Then I'm gonna use my Lekem cream. There's just a lot of different things that Lekem has. I don't know what to say, but I will link all of the different things that I've used today down below. I like Lekem products. They're very nice. They're very expensive though, so it just really depends on like what your budget is sometimes. The third product that I use that's also Lekem related, it is for lifting and firming cream. And it's for all skin types, and it's really good for right under your eyes apparently. The last Lekem product I'm gonna use is their primer, which I actually love so much. It's like an oil-based one. I'm struggling. Okay, there we go. So I just pump about 2. Yeah, and I just put it all over my face, and basically it gets rid of the pores. So if you guys have pores that are very prominent and you can see it on a day-to-day basis and you're trying to avoid that, this primer is really good for that. And it's oil-based, so if your face is dry, then definitely I recommend this. Now we're done with that, on to the next one. So, as I do my brows, it's just my regular Anastasia Beverly Hills, the dip brow in the dark brown shade, and I use my Sephora 208 brush. My first pet peeve that I wrote down, I was in New York when I wrote this down. I was living there at the time, but I live in LA now in case that wasn't clear. When I lived in New York, one thing that would piss me off is when I would go on the train and they'd be like a whole extra seat right next to me, and someone would like come, you know, to like sit down and like look around to try find a seat, and obviously it's packed. And there's one seat right next to me, and like they just don't sit next to me, and it's typically a white person, and so I'm just like, hello? And then someone will get up from like a different area, maybe like right behind me, or even like a person right next to me will get up and then they'll sit down and just move down. And I'm like, I see you. That is definitely something I just really never liked at all while I was living in New York.
Life for the party. Always get it started.
I want to dive us into these pet peeves because honestly, they're my pet peeves, and I know that a lot of people can probably relate to them because at the end of the day, a lot of people have the same pet peeves. These are microaggressions. You're just assuming one thing about me when you really don't know. And so that is a microaggression. That is an assumption, you know, and that is wrong. But it also is something that pisses me off. So that's why it's my pet peeve. And I want to kind of just make that clear because they are mostly microaggressions. They just also piss me off. That's the tea. So next, I'm gonna use my e.l.f. concealer palette that I have. It's really janky and messed up, but I use it all the time and it still works. And this is just for my brows, to conceal them, you know, to do what concealer does, basically. Another racist pet peeve of mine, I would definitely say, is when you go to a fancy restaurant or a fancy place, and when you're black, you get stared at. You literally get looked at for being somewhere because it's almost like you're out of place for some reason because it's fancier. A lot of people think you can't afford to be there, or that you're just there for charity, or whatever the case may be. As a black woman, like that just makes me so uncomfortable, and I understand like being confused by the new society we live in and the acceptance of this generation, but like get over it because staring at someone is the worst thing you can do. That makes everyone feel so out of place, and it also makes you look bad. I also put a lot of concealer on.
I can't think when you're looking like that. Can't breathe when you're moving like that.
So next I'm gonna do my foundation. Here's the cap. I use Born This Way by Jackie Aina. I love supporting my black women. She makes amazing foundation, and the ranges are just amazing, and you'll see how it looks on my face. You might have seen it before. Just kidding, you haven't. Okay, this is the new foundation that I got. I typically just use a couple pumps, and I just use any brush from Sephora. My third pet peeve is definitely when it comes to my hair. every black woman has different curl patterns, to be honest. Ethiopians typically have looser curls, so I get associated with Middle Eastern a lot. I get asked if my hair is real. Right now I'm wearing a wig, just letting you guys know this is not my real hair at all. That's why there's this bandana. But I do get asked a lot whether my hair is real or this, that, and I'm just like, I understand wanting to learn about different cultures.
I mean, you wouldn't ask a white girl like, oh, like those are extensions, right? Like it's fake, right?
Yeah. When it comes to these pet peeves, you're making one person feel super uncomfortable. Why would you even want that on yourself? Like staring or even asking an uncomfortable question that you probably know to not ask. A good rule of thumb is to not ask a question if you think you shouldn't ask it. Like if you have a thought in your mind like, oh, should I ask this question? You probably shouldn't ask the question.
Google it or something, damn.
I don't know everything about all black women and all their hair.
Yeah.
And it's really that. Like you can't ask me to speak for the rest of the community. Don't touch a black woman's hair. Like it's really that simple. Side note, I just like to blend towards my neck a little bit. Wow, that got on my hair. Just kidding, it's not my hair, guys. It's not actually my hair.
Yeah, I haven't even really like done much yet, but like it's just weird. Like it looks like so like
Great.
Well, what did you do to make everything looks like just so like
Perfect?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the primer, I'm telling you. Like the primer,
That was too much, dude.
that's a story time.
Last night I went to this guy's apartment for my school and I introduced myself to this one guy and I was like, hi, what's your name? He said his name and I was like, oh, I literally was like, oh, I know you. We literally like kissed on Valentine's Day. Oh my god. And then he said the N-word at this house after and like said it again after I told him to stop.
Yeah, literally pet peeve.
Like I asked you to stop.
It is a pet peeve. Like why?
Like,
do white
just
people
don't.
feel
Like, just
they
don't,
can
you know?
say it? There's a lot of other words you can say. Like man, dog, diggity dog, anything. So the palette I'm using for this makeup look is gonna be the Picante palette that I showed you guys earlier from Karity. It is an $18 palette that looks like this. It's so nice. It has like nice warm toned like yellows, reds, oranges, very like sandy. I love that like vibe for my look. I just don't know what color to use honestly because I've used a lot of these colors, but I want to make a sunset kind of eyeshadow look. So I'm just gonna go for these three colors right here and see if I can achieve a little sunset and see what's up. An obvious pet peeve is definitely white people saying the N-word. There's not one situation in this point in time where a white person says the N-word and it's appropriate. Not one. Since it's obviously inappropriate, don't say it. That's just how I feel about that. But not a lot of people think the same way, and not a lot of people respect everyone. So you find yourself in situations like Leah where you're literally making yourself vulnerable. It's horrible when you find yourself in a situation where you find a white person that you actually get along with and then they say the N-word and then you're like, you can put them in their place and kind of let them know that saying that word, you know, hopefully as they should have known, is inappropriate and that they should never say it again. What's up? Yeah, do you want to come? PSA from Brayden, everybody.
Listen, I know I'm white, maybe I shouldn't be speaking on this subject, but I'm gonna speak on it for real, for real. If you, your family, your ancestors, people like were not racially discriminated against because of that word, or were not racially profiled because of that word, or that word was not intended to use for your culture, you have no reason to say it. You have no way to say it. That word is created to negatively impact people of African descent. Just because you were raised in a certain part or whatever, your family, your heritage.
Just because you know some black people,
whatever.
just because you have a black friend doesn't mean you can say it. So another pet peeve that I will share with you guys is, but this is a personal one. I feel personally attacked by this one. It's when people assume that I can dance because I'm black. And I can't really do that. I can dance, you know, like, yeah. And also, I've learned to dance. Like, I've picked up on certain moves and certain, like, you know. But I can't do all of the stuff that, like, all these girls do on the internet. Like, I can't dance like that. If you've seen the video of Leah, me, and Miriam dancing, then just use that for reference because... Okay, another pet peeve of mine. This is my favorite one to talk about. It's when people say things like, your vernacular is so great, you speak so well. Just different things about the way I speak or maybe carry myself. It's literally because there's a stereotype of black people. And so when you're comparing a regular person who just happens to be black to the stereotype of black, then you just, there's a brain fart. You're like, nah, this doesn't make sense. Like, how does she speak well? Like, even my best friends will say to me that my vernacular is great. And I'm like, thank you. And they'll literally be like, you speak better than me. And so I feel like that's to cushion the blow for them. I'm an eloquent speaker. Like, I'm just good at talking to people. It's just what I do, clearly, because I'm talking to a camera right now. You dig? Who said that black people couldn't be eloquent? I don't understand. Because eloquency comes with like education, and when you're assuming that someone is just not eloquent, you're kind of also assuming that they're not educated, which is also kind of like wrong. And that's pretty much my finished like eyeshadow look. Not gonna lie to you guys. That's as much as you're gonna get from me. But I do really like this palette. As you can see, my fingers are very pigmented, and for $18, this is definitely a hit. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When I was writing these pet peeves down, I wrote down the most common one that I know of, because it kind of does piss me off when people ask me this, but also in regards to me, when someone asks me where I'm from, or like where I'm actually from, I say Ethiopia, because that's just where like all my heritage and all my roots are. When you just ask someone where they're from and they give you an answer, just leave it at that. There's no like, not where are you from. Like, I don't really see anyone asking a white person like, where are you actually from? If someone asks me where I'm from and I say LA, even though I've lived in New York for a majority of my life, don't say, where are you from though? Because clearly I'm associating myself with LA, and that's all you need to know. Next, I will use this Stila liquid eyeliner. It's really nice. It's a good pen. I always just like to give it a little shake there. This requires a lot of attention though. The wing is the most important part. I always get scared when I do my wings because it's really a hit or miss.
If she get on top and turn around, I'm busting.
Okay. So I actually finished the eyeliner pretty quickly. That wasn't too bad. Sometimes it comes out really bad, sometimes it comes out really good. I'm saying it's literally a gamble. So for my highlighter, I use the Liquid Glow highlighter from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I must say I've been using liquid highlighter, wow, for the past couple months now, and I definitely do like it better. So I just put a little bit of liquid highlighter on both of my fingers. To put this highlighter on, I just literally put 3 dots on my face. Another pet peeve of mine for sure would have to be when people stare at you when you're in class. Like, a question that's black related will come up in class, and then people will just stare at you as if you're gonna speak up for the community. And I can't speak for everyone in the community, let alone like, I don't know, my friends, you know? Like, every single person experiences race differently, so I can't speak up for anyone but myself. So when I'm asked to speak for the community, it just makes me feel uncomfortable. And it should make the teacher and the class feel uncomfortable when that happens, because it's just weird. Don't do it, please. If you're a teacher watching this. To blend my highlighter, I literally just use my fingers, and then I go over it with my foundation brush a little bit just to even it out, because sometimes it just looks too much. So the last thing I'm gonna do is my mascara, which is the Better Than Sex Too Faced Mascara.
What's better than sex?
Is honestly the best thing in the entire world, and I love it. You'll see in a quick sec. My last pet peeve that I did want to talk about was when people say, you're pretty for a black girl.
Oh,
and that pisses me off so much.
For a black girl.
Literally for a black girl. You're
when they say that,
implying,
you're setting the standard down here when you say
right,
that.
you're literally like saying that black women are typically not pretty, and that I stand out for some particular reason. That's my last one, you guys, so I hope that you guys actually like listen to these. Do better than the rest of our generation, please. So this is the final look that I did with the palette. I hope that you guys like it. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you guys heard some of my pet peeves, either agreed with what I was saying, resonated, or like even just felt that, like literally felt it. I will see you guys later. Bye.